Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Lucas.
I'm Nina.
And we are here to do a chakra breakdown. The whole idea of this part is to explain to you about each of the chakras and a little bit about what is called the subtle body. Do you have any questions around that?
Yeah, I actually think the subtle body is often a concept that's a bit hard to grasp, actually. So,
Well, we can start with that.
yeah.
In the yogic tradition, in the old days, of course, they didn't have any concept of medicine or endocrinology. So they knew that there were parts of the body that felt differently, but it wasn't like actual pain. It's not something that you touch and you feel, but is more internal, right?
Yeah.
So they developed this concept or map related to energy, because they felt that they had like more or they had less, or that it behaved in a certain way and they felt movements around it. But that doesn't feel scientific when you explain it like this, but it's more the experience of having a nervous system. That means that they put words into describing how it felt in the body to feel emotions, to feel alive, to have challenges or difficulties. And since it wasn't physical pain, for them it was like, this needs to be named differently. This is why they named it the subtle body, because it wasn't tangible, it was more a construction of the mind. So we can think from the neuropsychology perspective that the subtle body is actually the experience of having a nervous system, but not knowing how it works.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And to investigate that.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And to investigate how does it feel in certain areas, but why in this area of the body feels differently than in this part of the body. And why here there are certain emotions and here others. So they didn't know about the endocrinological axis, which is the glands that are along the spine, the brain, and the rest of the organs. But they knew that when they felt extreme fear, you felt it in your gut. And they knew that when you had hesitation, doubt, or you were lying, something happened in the throat. So they created kind of a map around that, and they called it energetic because for them it was like, we don't actually know where this comes from. The same happens with what is called nadis, which is the energy channels that are on the body, and that is also explained in this part of the syllabus. The lessons talk about that, about the nadis and the koshas and all that. Nadis are energy channels. And it is said that we have like 50,000 of them. And you have also in the Chinese traditional medicine the idea of meridians, right?
Yeah.
But that is the experience of the nerve endings going all around.
Oh.
And the Sushumna Nadi, which is the principal Nadi that goes, is like a thick energy channel that goes in the middle, is actually the spine, and the sensations connected to the spine. So all the nadis and these wrappings that the subtle body has, that are called koshas, symbolize the experience of having a nervous system, and the subtle body actually is putting words into things that they didn't have any kind of expressions then.
Well, I think it was very well said, actually. Makes it very clear what the subtle body is about.
Any more questions regarding that?
No, not now. Maybe later.
Yeah. What we're going to do now is we are going to go specifically through the chakras, because the chakras are a way of embodying. We can say that a chakra in your mind, you can define it not only as the experience of having a nervous system, but also as a complex organ. Because if we go through the axis, the endocrinological axis, you have the pituitary gland on the top of the head, the pineal gland on the center of the brain, the thyroid gland on your throat, the thyme gland in your chest behind the sternum, the pancreas gland next to your stomach. Then you have your gonads or reproductive glands that are ovaries and testes. And then depending if you were born with an XY body or an XX body, we are having here like a diverse approach to it. Gender is, we take it as a construction, so you can identify with either gender, and you can be born with an XX body, which is a female-oriented body, an XY body, which is a more male-oriented, but also can be a combination of both in intersex and so on. So is this division between female and male in the modern secular perspective is not really a thing. We see this as a continuum. Medicine is also seeing this as a continuum, not just a polarization. And then you have the adrenal glands that are on top of your kidneys. So these 7 glands are connected with the 7 chakras, actually. And these glands in each part of the body, they affect an organ, they are connected to the brain, and that has an impact in this area of the body. So you can think of the gland, the nerve endings connected to it, the organs surrounding that. And also there is an area of the brain that is connected with the motor cortex, which is the part of the brain that decides movement, that is also connected to that. So when we bring these 4 things together, we can wrap that around the concept that in Indian perspective, Hinduistic perspective, chakras were talked about. But if we take 1 out of the 4, it doesn't make sense. This is why we bring them all 4 together. We are going to talk in detail in the next videos about each and every one of them. And the idea around it is to help you understand a level of embodiment. Why is this important? Because sometimes you feel comfortable in certain areas of the body and you express yourself very well in these areas. Yeah, for me it's like this part and this, like communication and ideas. And some parts are like, we don't put all our both feet there and we don't have like full presence. For example, how open we are in loving or receiving love or taking into action. We can analyze actually the whole body, mind, psychology using the chakra perspective. Of course, this course is not going to go very deep on that end, but at least we can have an idea on each and all of these areas. So, shall we go?